This session, ladies and gentlemen, we calling it Can India Win? Yes, we have Mr. Shiv Khera. Can we make some noise for him in conversation with Mr. Chirag Thakkar for this session? So I'd like to take this opportunity to invite them on stage for this discussion. So, yes, absolutely. And let's make some noise for both of them. Mr. Shiv Khera, renowned Indian author, motivational speaker, business consultant, who has instilled belief in millions of people across the globe that you can win.
Good morning. All right. Where's our speaker earlier? Where's the speaker here?
She's...
Oh, okay. But what a session, I believe. It was a very powerful session. Would you agree with that, folks? Amazing. Absolutely. And what a great service to the nation. Okay. All right. Folks, before I start out, I notice many of you have very fancy mobiles. Many of you have very fancy i10, 20, 15, 25. I have no idea what you have. You got all the eyes. Get your mobile in your hand, please. Everybody get your mobile in your hand, please. Everybody get your hand all the way up. Oh, okay. Now kindly switch it off, please. Kindly switch off. Kindly switch off. Kindly switch off. Folks, let me ask you, if I keep my mobile on right now, and if it keeps disturbing me one way or the other, tell me, would it be courteous to you people? Yes, no? Okay. Can we practice courtesy both sides, please? I'm so glad that you are here. It was a very powerful session. It didn't say, I really missed out. My loss. My loss, absolutely. Folks, in our office in India, very clearly it is mentioned, nobody, including me, nobody in our office in the conference room brings the mobile. Nobody. Let me ask you, if I keep my mobile on and if you are in my conference room, and if my mobile disturbs me time and again, one, is it courteous to you people? Yes, no? Two, it is ill-mannered also. And three, am I not wasting your time? Do I have a right to do it? Yes, no? Okay. So I commit, I will not waste your time. But I will not let you waste my time either. Okay? My phone goes out and your phone goes out. I had a member of parliament come the other day. He said, can I bring my mobile in? I said, no, sir. Can't. Please put it outside. Folks, that's crucial. All right. Folks, whenever we see a success story or a failure story, there are people behind it. How many agree with that? Please raise your hand. You got the question right? Should I repeat it again, sir? Whenever there's a success story or a failure story, there are people behind it. How many agree with that? Please raise your hand all the way up. Okay, then we agree with that. Now my next question comes, how many agree that people are our greatest assets? Please raise your hand all the way up. Okay, totally incorrect answer. Folks, hear this carefully. People are not assets. Only good people are assets, rest are all liabilities. Are you? Folks, I'm not playing on words. Only good people are assets, rest are all liabilities. And goodness anywhere needs to be cultivated, evil happens. This is nature's law. Folks, just like a farmer, if they want to have a good garden, they have to consciously plant good seeds. But weeds keep coming. You don't have to plant them, they keep coming. See, folks, after the farmer has planted good seeds, there's a whole army of insects and weeds ready to destroy his hard work. Yes, no. Now the farmer has a choice. Either get destroyed or destroy them. Both cannot live together. Folks, are you with me? Can I have a big yes? Okay. Both cannot live together. So that means the farmer has to fight. There is a fight. That means fight is nature's law. You want to live in peace, get ready to fight. If you are not ready to fight, you can never live in peace. Folks, it is nature's law. Right now in our body, we have white cells and we have red cells. What is the function of the white cells? Tell me. To fight infection. So right now in our body, there is a fight going on. See, every day we release millions of cancerous cells and millions of immunity cells. They fight, whichever is stronger wins. That means there is a fight inside right now. Are you with me? Hello? Right? Folks, that means fight is nature's law. Folks, since we have to fight, our objective is to win. And if we want to win, then we must be strong. We must be strong. Now, my new book that is coming out, I'm putting in that we have no choice, but we must be strong in 6 areas in life. 6 areas. 1, we must be physically strong. 2, mentally strong. 3, emotionally strong. 4, financially strong. Hello? And 5, spiritually strong. And 6, relationship strong. 6 areas. Anyone missing, you are a living dead body. Hello? Any one of this missing, you are a living dead body. That's all. Folks, why do we say we need to be physically strong? Because physical strength gives us stamina, sustenance, energy. Physical strength influences our decision-making ability. Folks, when we are physically weak, can you imagine the kind of decisions we end up making? Probably we will never make such decisions if we are physically strong. Are you with me? Hello? Can I have a big yes? Yes, sir. Okay. Folks, that's why it is crucial. And folks, only people who are strong can help the weak. We cannot help the weak. In the hospital, they always ask a strong person to take care of the sick. They never ask a sick person to take care of the sick. So hence, it is our moral obligation to be strong. Are you with me? Okay. Now, that is physically strong. 2 is, we need to be mentally strong. Folks, what is mental strength? Folks, have you noticed one thing? There are some people who are so mentally strong, no matter what they do, they always succeed. And reverse it, there are some people, no matter what they do, they always fail. Folks, we have a quotation which says, winners don't do different things, they do things differently. Go ahead, settle down, please. It doesn't matter. Settle down, please. Folks, we have a little quote which says, winners don't do different things, they do things. And many times people ask, what do they do differently? Folks, my answer is, winners form the habit of doing things losers don't like to do. And what are the things losers don't like to do? They're the same things winners don't like to do either, but they do it anyway. See, losers don't like to get up in the morning. Winners don't like to get up in the morning either, but they get up anyway. Losers don't like to work hard. Winners don't like to work hard either, but they work hard anyway. See, they form the habit of doing things losers don't like to do. And they're the same things that they both don't like to do, but they do it anyway. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Reason being, if we have to think to do the right thing, we can never do it right. It must come automatic. It must be a reflex action. Folks, I don't care how old we are. Our parents said one thing: form good habits, and habits form characters. Are you with me? Form good habits, and habits form characters. Because 90% of our behavior is habitual. We don't think, we just act. And if we have positive habits, we are a positive character. And if you got negative habits, we are a negative character. And good habits are hard to come by, but they're easy to live with. Bad habits come easy, but they're hard to live with. And before we got the habits got us. Are you with me? Before we got the habits got us. That is why Aristotle once said, success is a habit, and so is failure. How many times have you heard people talking like this? That this person is just lucky. Every time he touches dirt, it turns into gold. And this person is just unlucky. Every time he touches gold, it becomes dirt. Now, there is a truth minus the word luck. The person we call lucky, every time he touches dirt, becomes gold. Analyze their life. Analyze every transaction in their life, and you will find the positive behavior has become habitual. Every time they do it right, it happens right, their reflexes are moving right. And the person we call unlucky, every time they do it wrong, it happens wrong because their reflexes are moving wrong. Habitually, they're just doing it wrong. Subconsciously, that's how it is. No wonder they get nowhere. That's why we say success is a habit and so is failure. Now, I'll share with you two quick examples. In martial art, when you get to white belt and you're yellow, orange, green, purple, brown, black belt, 5 years later, this kid, after getting the black belt, is still doing the same thing what he learned in the white belt. And what is that word, what he learned? Block, punch, block, punch, block. 5 years later, after getting the black belt, he's still doing block, punch, what he learned then. Why is that? Because the teacher wants to get the block and punch into reflex. Because the teacher realizes that if the student is ever in a street fight, if he has to think to block and punch, guess what will happen? He'll get beaten up. A martial art kid never has to think to block and punch. They never commit their blow till you commit. And after you commit, their reflexes move so fast, it takes one, it's all over. I'll share with you any field in life, any field. In defense services, 60 to 70% of the career in defense services goes into simulation of warfare. What is simulation of warfare? They play war games as if there's a real war going on, right? No. Why? Because they want to bring into reflex action. Why? Because they realize when there's a real war, if they have to think to fight a war, do you think they can ever fight a war? Answer is never. Folks, basically what I'm sharing with you is we need to bring all positive behavior into reflex action. That is the only way we can move forward in life. Otherwise, you can do all you want. You will be sitting here 5 years, 15 years from now and keep listening to speakers. Nothing will happen, folks. Are you with me? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Now, one is winners form the habit of doing things losers don't like to do. And what is the second thing losers don't like to do or winners do? Folks, remember one thing. Winners always put in that extra effort even when it hurts. I repeat, what is the sign of a good professional? I bet the young lady here must be getting booked 6 months, 8 months, 1 year in advance. Many times celebrities get booked 1 year, 6 months in advance. Happens. But tell me, when you get booked 6 months to a year in advance, how do you know that the night before the event you may not have 105 fever? How do you know? You don't know. But it happens. But when the person comes to perform as a professional, even if he's suffering 105, they never say that my performance will not be good today. You know something? They never say that. They perform and nobody can tell anything. You know what is the difference? All of us have a good days, we all have a bad days, yes, no. Everybody has it. But the sign of a good professional is, on a good day or a bad day, the performance is identical. Good day, it comes easy. Bad day takes a lot out of them. But they don't compromise performance. Are you with me? They always put in that extra effort even when it hurts. And especially the youth today, they talk to me, so much unemployment. We got so many problems. I got competition outside. And my answer to them is, that never in the history of mankind has it been so easy to succeed in life the way it is today. Regardless of your profession, we have no competition. I repeat, never in the history of mankind has it been so easy to succeed in life the way it is today, regardless of your profession. So somebody asked me, how come we have no competition? So I asked this man a question, and I'm asking all of you people the same question. Folks, tell me, how many people do you know right now walking off the street who are willing to do a little bit more than what they get paid for? I repeat one more time. Folks, how many people do you know right now walking off the street who are willing to do a little bit more than what they get paid for? How many? How many? How many? Hardly any. Most people don't even want to do what they get paid for. There's a second big category of people who only want to do what they can get by with. And there's a very small fraction of people who are willing to do a little bit more than what they get paid for. And I asked him, if you fall into that category, I don't care what your profession is. Tell me, where's your competition? Folks, you cannot find a good accountant today. You can't find a good attorney today. You can't find a good carpenter. You can't find a good plumber. Question is, are you willing to do a little bit more than what you get paid for? Folks, let me share with you my life. I come from a business family. We had coal mines in India, close to 1,000 people working for us. I didn't create them, I inherited them. Mines got nationalized and we came on the street. Street means street. Some families had money, our family did not. My father had died when I was in college. We were left with the liability and the assets were gone. And I remember a year later, my daughter was born and I did not have $10 to buy milk that night. I tried my hands on 3 businesses with no money and I failed in all 3. Finally, November 13, 1975, I left India and I started life in Toronto with a bucket in my hand washing cars for a year and a half. I was washing cars on the street for about a year and a half. And then, totally by accident, I got into selling life insurance. But within 3 months, my manager called me to fire me for non-performance. He said, I've been in this life insurance business 35 years, and he said, I've seen some slow starts in my life, but I've never seen one like you. And he said to me, don't come back tomorrow. Don't come back tomorrow, you're fired. I said, Joe, wait a minute. Before you fire me, at least hear me out. I'm not an educated person. I'm not a doctor, engineer, attorney, accountant. I'm a BCom 3rd division, failed in my 10th. That's my academics. I said, I got a handicap. How do you expect performance out of me? That day somebody spoke very harshly to me, and I'm glad he did. And he said, you shut up and listen to me. He said, you shut up and listen to me. He said, you don't have a handicap. You have a bad attitude. And he said, it is people like you who not only ruin their own lives, but they also ruin their family's life too. And he said, do you know who has a handicap in life? The doctor, engineer, attorney, accountant. They all have handicaps. I said, boy, I never heard that one. I said, how do they have handicaps? He said, generally true all over the world. They all have chosen their field, they are stuck. He said, they all have chosen their field, they are stuck. And he said, you haven't chosen your field, don't you see the world is open to you? I said, Joe, I never thought from that point of view. And he says, now that you're fired, He said, you got all the time to think. He said, leave my office. Folks, I left his office 47 years ago that night. That evening in Toronto, there was a program by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the man who wrote the book Power of Positive Thinking. I attended the program. He came in, there were 1,000 people. I was one of them. He looked at everybody with great confidence and he asked, it appears you people are so cool, calm, comfortable. Anybody has a problem here? Please raise your hand. Now, who doesn't have a problem? So everybody raised their hand. Then he asked, how many people would like to get rid of their problems? Again, everybody raised their hand. Then Dr. Peale said, while I was coming here, I came across a place where I saw some people totally stressed out, relaxed, comfortable. They had no problem whatsoever. How many people would like to know where that place is? Again, everybody raised their hand. And then Dr. Peale said, 2 blocks away from here, there is a cemetery. 2 blocks away from here, there is a cemetery. There are people lying there, all stretched out, comfortable, totally relaxed. They have no problem whatsoever. And he asked, how many people would like to get rid of their problem? Nobody raised their hand. Everybody put their hand in their pocket. And folks, that day, Dr. Peale gave a prayer, which in my opinion is the gist of life. And I've used that prayer for the past 45 years. And it goes this way. It is called the Serenity Prayer. It says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference what I can and what I cannot. Folks, if you dissect this little thing, it says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. Question is, can we change everything in this world to suit ourselves? Answer is no. Can we mold everything the way we want it? Answer is no. There are many, many, many things beyond, such as, I didn't choose my parents, neither did you. I didn't decide where I was going to be born, neither did you. If this is my height and the color of my skin, there's nothing I can do about it. And granted, sometimes people are born deformed. And granted, sometimes bad things do happen to good people for no fault of their own. What wrong did they do? Who knows? It says, what I cannot change, let me accept it graciously, not grudgingly. Why? Because many times in life, we keep fighting the things we just cannot change. And we become paralyzed and we become unproductive. So if I cannot change, let me accept it graciously. And if I can change, then give me the courage to do it. And wisdom to know the difference what I can and what I cannot. Now folks, when I wrote my book, which was launched, Live While You Are Alive. This is my latest launch 2 weeks ago by Dr. Jai Shankar. It is already on the Amazon bestseller. But let me share, I wrote in something, I took this thought and took it 2 steps forward. And I wrote in this book, life is full of choices and life is full of compromises. Seems like a contradiction, but not really. How is life full of choices? Folks, if I ill-treat you, I have chosen to be ill-treated, haven't I? If I treat you with discourtesy, I've chosen to be treated with discourtesy, haven't I? If I light up a cigarette, I've chosen to invite cancer, haven't I? If I drink and drive, I've chosen to invite an accident, haven't I? And if I exercise every day, I've chosen to invite good health, haven't I? And if I eat too much every day, I've chosen to be obese, haven't I? And if I tell lies, I've chosen to lose my credibility, haven't I? Hello? That's right. See, folks, life is full of choices. Very important is, we are all free to the point of choice. But after we make our choices, the choice controls the chooser. We have no more choice. I repeat, we are all free only to the point of choice. But after we make our choices, the choice controls the chooser. We have no more choice. Now, how is life full of compromises? See, it is well said, in life, we cannot choose the cards that are dealt to us. What we can choose is how we play the game. And sometimes nature gives us a lemon. The choice is ours. Do we cry or do we make lemonade? That's a choice. Folks, remember, we are neither winners nor we are losers. We are choosers. Are you with me? We are not winners. We are not losers. We are choosers. Are you with me? That's right. Now, folks, sometimes, especially the press asks me, Mr. Khera, people who are successful, don't they make mistakes? And people who fail, don't they do positive things in life? And my answer is that people who succeed, they do make mistakes. But remember, making a mistake once in a while does not bring failure. Repeating the same mistake again and again is what brings failure. Are you with me? And doing something positive once in a while does not bring success either. Repeating the same positive behavior again and again, it brings success. And that is the key. Now, Sunil, I need that Lalit paper. Now, folks, I know I'm running out of time here, but let me share a couple of things quickly. After I attended Dr. Peel's program, I went back to my manager and I said, Joe, give me one more shot. Don't fire me. Give me one more shot. Because if you fire me today, I don't know where to go. And the only place I know where to go is go back to washing cars. And I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I got a little daughter. I make one commitment. I will not let you down because of my effort, but please withdraw the papers. He looked at me and he says, I let you stay here only if you make a commitment, not to me, but to yourself. Folks, that day I made a commitment. And that was one of the turning points in my life. And don't we all have some turning points? Yes, no. He withdrew the papers that day. And that year I went ahead, sold close to $1 million. Next year, 3 million. Year after, 5 million. Moved on to the US. I got into 3 businesses. I bought out a company out of California in 1984. Started a New Jersey operation with no clients, and I sold my company with close to 500 clients for a decent sum. Now, why do I share my life with you? For a few reasons. Number one, I kept failing all my life and kept blaming the whole world for my failure, not realizing that I was my own biggest problem. Nothing changed outside. Something changed inside here, and my life changed. And let me ask you people, many times in life, aren't we our own biggest problem? Can I have a big yes? Okay. Number two. Second lesson I learned when he said to me, you shut up and listen to me. That day I learned one major lesson in my life, that sometimes in life you got to be unkind to be kind. Sometimes in life you got to be unkind to be kind. Parenting is not a popularity contest. I repeat, parenting is not a popularity contest. And the third lesson I learned was, I was on 100% commission. Now, if I didn't sell, ma'am, I wouldn't get any money and I had no money. But I saw in my company, there were some people who were getting salaries, but they were not doing the job. Folks, 47 years ago, I learned the difference between making money versus earning money. Making money is criminal, earning money is spiritual. Are you with me? Making money is criminal, earning money is spiritual. And folks, why go that far? Gallup did a survey from US. It was a global survey which said 63% of people who go to work, they're disengaged. You know what it means? They don't do the job. An additional 24% are actively disengaged. You know what that means? They make sure that others also don't do their job. That leaves only 13% of people who go to work actually do work. This is a global survey. Only 13%. And this survey added one more thing with the social media the way it is. When people go to work, during working hours, they're spending 2, 3, 4 hours on personal social media. Is that what you're getting paid for? Hello? Is that what you're getting paid for? Hello? No. Tell me, is that not a big integrity issue? When somebody takes your wallet, what do you call that person? A thief. When we people do all these things, what are we? Big thief. I bet there are some people from the academic world here, from schools, colleges. But interesting, about 6 months ago, I addressed 1,000 medical doctors from all over the world, top doctors. And right ahead of me was a man by the name of, I'm not going to name him, sorry. I don't want to take names. But from Niti Aayog, the big top guy. And he said, our GDP is going up, DDP is going up, and we are spending 9 lakh crore skill development, 9 lakh crore skill development. And he finished, and then it was my turn to address. I acknowledged that GDP, DDP important. Skill development is important. But I said only one thing. I said, my friend, organizations and countries are not built on skills. They are built on character. Are you with me? They're built on character. And I said, you have a skillful doctor who lacks character, will do useless surgeries, useless procedures. To them, a sick person is not a patient, but a target to hit. To a skillful lawyer who lacks character, a matter that can be resolved in 5 hearings will take 500 hearings. A skillful judge who lacks character will give judgments. Hear this. Hear this, ma'am. A skillful judge who lacks character will give judgments, no justice. A skillful IS, IPS officer who lacks character will himself become mafia. A skillful politician who lacks character will sell his country and mother for money. Don't we see that? And I just asked him one little thing. You've read the epics Ramayana, Mahabharata. Ravan was a very knowledgeable person. What did he lack? He lacked character. And I said, in the schools, if you're not teaching character, you are building more and more Ravans. That's all you're doing. Okay.
Shall we take audience questions? I'm sure people are very eager to ask you questions, Mr. Khera.
Okay. I'll just let them have an idea on what we do here. Folks, this is the new one. And we had another one, You Can Achieve More, which was launched in London. You Can Achieve More as a subtitle. If you want to stand out, you need to do something outstanding. I repeat, if you want to stand out, you need to do something outstanding. And of course, You Can Win as a title. Winners don't do different things. But Live While You Are Alive has a subtitle which says, Take a break before you break down. Take a break before you break down. Now, why we did this? There are many, many books on stress handling. And most of them, they talk of deep breathing, deep breathing, deep breathing, meditation, meditation, meditation. And they say, doctors say, change your environment. Go to the beach. Go to the mountains. I tell you one thing. If your attitude is negative, you can do all breathing you want, nothing will work. You can't even bloody well breathe properly. And if your attitude is messed up, you can't do proper meditation. And if your attitude is messed up, you can go to mountains, you can go to beaches, you carry your bloody problem along with you. You can do what you want, nothing will work. Eventually, it comes down to we need to change our attitude. Are you with me? Okay.
Wonderful. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Khera? What an honor it is to be here, and what an honor it is to sort of do a quick round of questions that you guys want to ask Mr. Khera. If you can raise your hands if you have questions for him, we'll have a volunteer go around and pass you the mic. Keep them to questions only, not comments, and keep them to brief questions. The lady in lady here in the second row. Can we give her a mic? Wonderful. Yes. Okay, we'll come back to you. Yeah.
Sir, do we have really choice to choose?
Do we really have a choice to choose?
Ma'am, did we not talk about life is full of choices and life full of compromises? Were you here? Did you hear me completely?
Yes.
Okay. Many things we have a choice, and some things in life we don't have a. I'm born male, female, not my choice. This is my hair, not my choice. This is my height, not my choice. But beyond this, we have choices in life. Of course we have.
A question here on rows 2. Here. Yeah, right here.
Good morning, sir. When the life is full of mess, how can one develop the positive attitude?
I just want to share something with you. In fact, I got a piece of paper here. Just last year, we took some organizations for a consulting client. We took a company with a Swiss collaboration as a client. I got a call from the CEO saying, Mr. Khera, can you do some sales training for our people? I said, give me a couple of days. 2 days later, I called and I said, sir, your people don't need sales training. They need basic training in courtesy, etiquette, manners, integrity. He said, what? I said, yes, sir. I said, your people need basic training in courtesy, etiquette, manners, integrity. He said, what does that mean? I said, many of your salespeople have appointments, they're running late. And they don't even have the courtesy to call and say, I'm sorry I kept you waiting. And time to call is when? Before you got late or after you got late? When? Before. And they walk in late, they don't even have the courtesy to say, I'm sorry I kept you waiting. And in case they call, what do they say on the phone? I'm stuck in traffic. Now don't get me wrong, traffic has become a real issue all over the world. But many times, they leave only 2 minutes before the appointment and they blame it on what? Traffic. They don't have the guts and integrity to say, I'm sorry, I did start late, I apologize. They don't have the integrity nor the courage to say, I'm sorry, I did start late. And we find only the first lie is difficult. Second becomes easier, third becomes easier, fourth becomes easier. And very soon, you are dealing with a chronic liar who is a bloody rascal. Tell me, if this is the starting point of a relationship, tell me how long will it last? Tell me, ma'am, if this is the starting point of a relationship, how long will it last? And experience shows people who lie also steal. I repeat, and many times people say, this is a little lie. When the big one comes, I'll tell the truth. You heard the phrase which says, practice makes perfect. Have you heard that, Chirag?
Yes, of course.
Practice makes perfect?
Yes.
Yeah, you believe that's true, isn't it? Yes. Raise your hand.
Yes.
Ha! Incorrect answer. Folks, practice does not make perfect. Practice only makes permanent whatever you practice. Practice only makes permanent whatever you practice. Folks, I'm not playing on words. There are people who say, this is a little lie. When the big ones comes, I'll tell the truth. You practice enough little lies in life. When the big one comes, what happens? You end up telling a big lie. People say, this is a little thing. When the big one comes, I'll show courage. You practice cowardice. Enough little things in life. When the big one comes, what happens? You end up being a big coward.
You have to wrap. You can take it.
Folks, practice does not make perfect. Practice only makes permanent whatever you practice. And I'm going to close this now with one little thing. I just said, people who lie also steal. I did a program at Bombay, and next to my bed there was a little table. On the little table there was a nice alarm clock. And right next to the alarm clock, ma'am, this was written there, big sign hanging next to the alarm clock.
This clock is hotel property. This clock is hotel property.
It said this clock is hotel property. And next there was a lamp, and next lamp there was another one. This lamp is also hotel property. Why do they write such things? Hello? This is 5-star hotel, Intercontinental. Why do they do this? Hello? Hello? Huh? Because some people do pack it by mistake. By mistake? No. You know something? They pick up cutleries, crockeries, linens, towels, everything. Tell me, the person who's staying there is paying 50,000 bucks one night. 50,000 bucks one night. Is he poor? He can probably buy the hotel. But you know something? This is what they do.